Halloween, guys. Welcome to my channel. My name is Tori Lynn. Today I'm going to be showing you how to become Rosie Riveter for Halloween. Rosie Riveter is timeless and classic and super easy to achieve. If you guys want to see how I did this look, just keep watching. I'm going to start by pulling my hair back because it's going to be kind of important. It's going to play a part in doing our hair later. So I'm just going to take, for this, a regular hair tie. I typically like to use the Invisibobble hair ties, but we're going to need something that's going to lay a little flatter to the head. So I'm just going to take a regular thick hair tie here and pull all of my hair back, except for my bang. I'm going to leave the bang out because, like I said, this is an important part to doing our hair later in the video. I just like to have my hair out of the way when I'm doing my makeup, so I figured I would just include this. So I'm just going to leave this down for a second. I'm going to pull the rest of my hair back into a fairly low ponytail. I want it to sit, you know, pretty low on the head, but not all the way down. And I'm just going to make a nice tight ponytail back there. I'm not going to do anything else with it for now. And then I'm just going to go ahead, because I don't want my bangs in my face either for the whole thing, but we're going to need them later. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin them back for now. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead. I have already moisturized and taken care of my skin. So the first thing I'm going to do is prime. This is the Dr. Brandt Luminizing Luminizing Primer. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that guy on the hand, and the finger, and work that around the face, mostly focusing it on the really pored areas. I chose this because I feel like Rosie probably was working hard and may have been a little sweaty, a little dewy, so I figured a little luminizing primer just to give us a little slight dewy look would be alright. For the skin, I'm going to use one of my OG faves I've been using for years. It's the Revlon Color Stay. I use the shade 120. This bottle is getting really low. Use the crap out of it, and I need to buy a new one, but I haven't, so I'm just going to go ahead and go ahead and use this foundation. A tip for when your foundation gets really low, lay the bottle on its side for a little bit until the product kind of pools on the side. Then unscrew it, use the straw that you use to pump it to scoop that foundation out. And then just put some on the skin. However you like to do it on your face. If you like it in one giant spot or a little everywhere. I like a little everywhere. I feel like it just makes it easier to get good coverage. Now I'm going to take my beauty sponge. This is Aesthetica, and I'm just going to go ahead and buff that out. Foundation is on and buffed out, so we're going to conceal. I'm going to stick with my OG fave. Well, one of my absolute faves is the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in the shade Porcelain Beige. Taking that wet beauty sponge, go ahead and buff out the edges. Or go ahead and buff out the concealer. For baking today, I'm going to use the Kat Von D Lock-It Translucent Powder. This isn't a mini. I got this, I want to say for my birthday from Sephora. You know, when you go and on your birthday month and you buy product from Sephora, you usually get to pick between a couple items for your birthday gift. And this was one of them. So I'm just going to take my Tarte sponge and bake right up under those eyes. I actually do really like this setting powder for baking. I feel like it does a pretty darn good job. I don't feel like I get too crusty under the eye. This is the point in my makeup where I pretty much do my brows every time. I'm gonna, of course, use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Dip Pomade in the shade Taupe. And I'm gonna use my Morphe, what is this, an R44? Yeah, R44 brush to go ahead and apply those, and I will be right back at it from the brow. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip the eyes and move down into the face. The eyes will be really simple, so I'm not gonna be worried about fallout or anything. We're gonna do those towards the end. So let's go ahead and set the rest of our face. I'm gonna use, of course, my Coty Translucent Airspun Powder. This is just like my go-to, my fave. I don't have a lot of others that I really like, so this is the one I typically use. I'm just gonna set my whole face. I'm also gonna set my lids while we're here. It just makes it easier to worry about it later. So I'm just gonna take the same brush, same product, and just set those lids off. I'm gonna bronze up, of course, using my Hoola bronzer from Benefit with my Aesthetica P12 brush. Since we have our bronzer out, we're gonna go and contour the nose. I don't think I can do a look without contouring my nose. It's like once you start, you kind of can't stop. So take my fluffy fluffy brush and just carve out the edges of the nose there. Rosie doesn't really seem to have a real strong cheek. So I'm gonna grab the my Milani powder blush in the shade Coral Cove. It's a real corally peachy color. It's one of the really pretty rose blushes that they have. And I'm just gonna take an angled cheek brush. And I'm not gonna go in extremely heavy with this. Just a real light hand on this, just because I feel like that is kind of her look. She's got a fairly good bronze or contour, but not a real strong blush. And I'll just, because it's me, put a little on the nose. You do not have to do that. For a highlight, I chose one that's a little more subtle. I still want to look dewy, but I don't want to look overly dewy because she's not one to wear a ton of makeup. At least I don't feel that way. Hardworking woman, she's probably out in the field. Don't feel like she's going to want to wear a lot of makeup, but I'm going to use the Becca highlighter in the shade Prosecco Pop. Now this one I used a lot of, so it's got a lot of pan in there, but it's a real pretty champagne-y, not as strong as the Mary Luminizer from the Balm that I use pretty regularly. I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight up just a little bit. I'm gonna use it in my typical areas, but not go in as heavy as I normally would. Let's go ahead and move back into the eyes. I'm gonna take the Tarte in a Bloom palette, and I'm gonna be using just 2 shades out of this palette. I don't really feel like she's got a lot of shadow, but I'm gonna take this light brown shade right here in the middle called Smarty Pants, which you can see I've used a lot because I've hit pan on it. And I'm also going to be using the shade Charmer down here, which is a really, really pale, almost white, slight cream shade. So I'm starting with Smarty Pants here in the center. And I'm going to work that into the crease. I'm not going to go too heavy with it, just enough to add a little dimension because I have hooded eyes. I want to add a little dimension into my eye. So not a ton. I'm not going to go in real heavy. I'm not going to go, you know, build it out like I did in my everyday makeup look video. This one is just it's going to be pretty soft as far as eyeshadow goes. Just enough to add a little something, something in there. Okay, now I'm going to take that second shade that I talked about, which was called Charmer, the real pale white shade here, and I'm just going to take a standard packing brush and just put that all over the lid. Neither one of these shades really have, or neither one of these shades have any shimmer. They're both just standard matte shades, very neutral. For inner corner highlight, I'm going to be using the ColourPop Flexitarian. This one is a pretty good highlight. It does take a little bit of building, but you can get a real strong shimmer with it. And this is a Luxie 111 brush that I'm going to be using with it. I'm just going to really pack that into that inner corner. It usually takes a little bit of layering to me to get this highlight going, but once it's going, it's like you are popping. Gonna really work this product in. I usually do a couple layers. Rosie is, I believe, the 40s era. She was for World War II, and when I think of the 40s, I think of pretty, like, I think of cat eyes. So I'm gonna do a pretty big wing on my liner today. I'm gonna be using the NYX Epic Ink liner. This is just a matte black felt tip liner. I'm just gonna start at the inner corner and build out my liner. And then I'm gonna make a pretty big wing, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I like to set my face before I put my mascara on. I feel like it helps moisten the lashes, which helps the product pull those lashes really well, I feel like. If you're gonna throw falsies on, probably not as big a deal, but I don't do falsies. So I'm gonna go ahead and set set my face with my Urban Decay vitamin infused spray. And then I'm going to do my lashes. And of course I'm going to use my IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. And just coat those bad boys. And last but not least is the lip. She's got a pretty red lip, and I'm going to be wearing the red bandana. So I chose the Fenty Beauty lip stain in the shade Uncensored. It is this really pretty true red lip, and I love the doe foot applicator on this. It's such different shape, but it just works so well. I'm going to go ahead and apply this to the lips. so this concludes the makeup portion of this, but now I'm gonna get into the hair. So I'm gonna need, or you're gonna need, a red bandana folded in half triangular wise. And then, now we've got our hair pulled up already, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the bangs down. Now the bangs are probably the most important part to this look as far as the hair goes. What you're gonna need a bunch of bobby pins, a comb, and that section of your bang. If you have a shorter bang or a true bang, just curling them pretty heavy with a curling iron will do the trick. If you're like me and you don't have a bang and your bang is as long as your hair, you're gonna need a back comb or some sort of comb to back comb your bangs. So I'm gonna just start at the base and tease or back comb all the way down the hair there. So we're gonna we back combed it. Now I'm just gonna comb through and make sure everything on the top looks nice and smooth and kept together. So that is important. And then I'm just gonna kind of smooth it all together with my hands. And I'm gonna take the ends of between my fingers and just wrap the hair. This is called, technique is called a barrel curling, or it creates a barrel curl. And you're just gonna hold your fingers onto the forehead like so, and then take bobby pins and bobby pin galore your forehead, and just bobby pin it to the forehead on the inside of the roll. Of course, you're gonna want to do both sides. Once you get one side pinned, it's usually okay to kind of let go. You should be able to work the other side in all right. Now, I have a hair that didn't get tucked in, so what I'm gonna do is just pull that guy back for now, and these few guys that aren't cooperating, just gonna bobby pin them till I'm happy with them. Which may take, like I said, bobby pins galore, bobby pin the crud out of your hair, whatever it takes to get it to stay nicely. Okay, so now I'm happy with them. I will take hairspray at the end and just any little tiny flyaways you can see that will probably drive me nuts, spray those down. But now I'm gonna take that ponytail that I have in the back and I'm going to twist it up, lay it flat to the head, and just bobby pin it to secure. You don't wanna do a big bun because that's gonna make the back of your head look lumpier. I'm just gonna go ahead and bobby pin her down. Once you got it bobby pinned and secured, I will spin around and show you what the back of mine looks like. Pretty standard. Pretty messy, nothing special to it. It's literally just bobby pinned and secured to my head. Once you feel like it's secured, go ahead and take your bandana, again folded in half triangle wise, and you're gonna tie it around your head. So you're gonna want the top, the triangle tip to come over the top of your head like so. So you want that flat end to be down at the bottom of your hairline. Then you'll bring the edges up and you're just gonna tie them right behind that bang, and I'm just gonna do a standard square knot. You tie it real nice and secure. You want it to stay, especially if you're like me and I have a pretty flat occipital bone back here. The only thing that's gonna keep this from sliding up all day is that little bit of bump from my ponytail. Now for this part, I'm gonna go ahead and grab her, pull her nice and snug, and tuck her under that knot that I just did. Not pulling the knot loose. And if you do not feel like that's gonna stay, then grab a few more bobby pins and just tuck it, bobby pin it right up behind that knot so you won't really be able to see the bobby pins, but they will be doing their job, and that's what's important. So I don't even know if you can see, I've got just that little bobby pin right back in there. And then of course, spray that bang down if it's gonna drive you nuts. So this, sometimes if I don't like the way this looks on the corners, I will bobby pin them down. Also, today I don't really mind how it looks on the corners. So I'm gonna go ahead and get dressed, and I will be right back. I don't really have a good setup right now for filming for doing the full body, so I'm just gonna stand up and show you my lower half when we get there. But for my top half, just wearing a standard black tank top, and then this isn't even a real denim jacket, but this denim jacket from, I believe, Maurice's that I got a few years ago. You could button if you wanted to. I'm not gonna button it. For the bottoms, I'm just wearing a standard pair of skinny blue jeans, and I roll the bottom. And then for shoes, I would wear something like, it's really dirty, but red Keds, something simple and cute. That also be comfortable if you're gonna be going out on Halloween. You want something that you're gonna be walking around in. And I do not feel like she's a heel kind of girl, and I just thought the red kind of matched the lip and the bandanas. I also forgot I rolled the sleeves on these guys, so gave myself a little cuff. I don't think that these would roll all the way up onto my bicep like her shirt is. I grabbed items that I already owned, and I did not want to cut the sleeves off on these because I like to wear with other things still. But anyways, guys, don't forget, we can do it. Girl power. Don't forget to comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe, you guys. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.